Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally taking a look at the NECA Toys Ultimate Golden Angel Predator, or the Young Elder Predator from the 1718 comic book, in case you guys were wondering. Oh man, I have been waiting for this guy for a long time. I ironically did not find this at Target. I was at a little local convention near me and a vendor had him for, I think it was $27. So at least I saved on tax because Target would charge me for that. But anyway, I'm glad I have him, and before I get into the review, I'm a very lucky person because this guy hardly has any QC issues besides one little nitpick that honestly I think I can fix. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But anyway, before I ramble too much, let's get into the review. Alrighty, taking a look at the box, and yes, I do look at the boxes for the Ultimate figures because look at this, it is so beautiful. I love the artwork, very inspired from the 1718 comic, and man, I just love it. Let's take a look at all sides here. It says Predator right there with the little NECA logo and the Real Toys logo. And again, I love the panel design here. Very cool. Definitely different from other boxes as well. And the other side is also pretty cool. Another look at the Golden Angel Predator. Looks like another comic panel, which is pretty cool. And the back, we get these a lot now with the comic figures. They are comic panels, and I like to look at these especially because NECA takes time to pose around their figures, and I think they do a really good job. It is so cool. Shows both biomasks, the flintlock pistol, and it's just so cool. 30 points of articulation. Yes, so he is very poseable, and see, proof as seen in the classic Predator 1718 comic story. So I definitely recommend it. It's a cool comic. Go check it out. But you know, with these Ultimate boxes, of course they do open up, and the Velcro hasn't died on mine. There's another look at the figure. Again, really nice. And look, a freaking diorama. NECA, we want that. Give us that. You're doing it with the turtles. And you just did that street diorama, which is a repaint of the turtles, but still, do more. And obviously this is where you would see the figure inside, so A+ for the box. People say I take too long with the boxes, but it's so cool. I love it so much, and it's definitely going on my wall. But anyway, before I keep talking about the box for another 10 minutes, let's check out the figure. Alright, and here he is, and he is so beautiful. I love him a lot. I don't have a green Predator, so, and of course, you guys know me, gotta have every color of the rainbow with them aliens and predators. But anyway, let us do a quick 360 here. It is essentially a jungle hunter with some slight modifications. Obviously, the smart disc holder is a new addition. The holster for, or the sheath for his sword is also new at the back here. And obviously the biomask and the head sculpt, the unmasked head sculpt, those are different to a degree. But besides that, it's pretty much Jungle Hunter, which I'm definitely okay with. I've said this in other reviews, other my reviews, because the Jungle Hunter mold is really good. I like it a lot. There's essentially nothing wrong with it unless you have QC issues, which again, luckily mine does not. But not everybody is that lucky, unfortunately, so NECA, if you're watching this, get your SHIT together. And I'm being PG-13 in this review, for all you kids out there. Okay, that sounds creepy. Let's take a closer look. So, taking a look at the first biomask here, I really like it. Has some decent paint. Mine isn't perfect. You can already tell that there are a couple nicks and scratches around the dome, but it's really not too bad. I'm okay with it. You can hardly notice it unless you're like me reviewing this and just looking at it super close. So I don't mind it too much, and I'm used to this, guys. It's NECA. At this point, I'll just call this battle damage. It's whatever. But the actual biomask is really nice. I do like the detail that they put here in this little this cave, not even a cave, like a cave-in on the side cheek there. I think that looks really nice. Nice red paint for the eyes there, or the visors, however you want to call it. Really nice. And I dig the shading that they use for all the lines around the biomask, because it kind of looks comic-y in a way. It looks like it was drawn in a sense, and I get that they're making these predators as if they looked this way in a film, but I like these subtle paint applications. They look cool. I like them a lot. Could be overthinking it, but that's the way it looks to me. The dreadlocks in person, they're not completely black. They're like a matte gray. Again, I'm not sure how it's coming out on camera. Could be black completely, but it's not fully black. And obviously, it's no different than any other Predator, individual dreadlocks, and I always appreciate that. So that's cool. There's really nothing else to talk about, though, with the dreadlocks, but I do like the detail that they put at the side of the head. You can see the skin, all the detail there. It's painted very nicely. Even some skin folds, wrinkles, looks very cool. And I like the pattern they used here for the neck. Now we do have the plasma caster here, and it is kind of a bronze copper. Again, could be completely different on camera. I'm not certain. And they're the same color as the armor pieces here, which essentially is Jungle Hunter, like I mentioned before. And it looks really, really nice. Now, yeah, a slight QC issue. It kind of goes down. The plasma caster here itself kind of just goes down like that. Kind of annoying, but that's that. One difference, though, that the plasma caster does have that differs from the Jungle Hunter is it has this extra, I even want to call it an iron sights, but it's the laser and the wire right here. So it's basically a repaint of the original, both releases of the Alder Predator, which I'll be showing later in the video, so stay tuned if you want to watch the rest of the review. And the rest of the figure is really, really nice. I love it a lot. Like I said, the same paint goes for all of the armor pieces, a nice bronze copper, can't really tell. I like these tiger stripes here, looks very, very cool. And a nice glossy paint for the back here. And you have two shades of green. You have a dark green, like a forest green, and a very, almost like a lime color, which is the majority of the skin here. It's even a little too bright because of my fluorescent lights, but pretty cool. The sheath here is really cool because, let's move that out of the way a little bit, it's dreadlocks. I like the wraps that they have around it. That looks really cool. And I'll show its functionality later in the video when I show off the accessories, but I'm liking it a lot so far. Here's the other QC issue I have, which I think is pretty much last. And ooh, by the way, check it out. These are still intact. I was a little nervous when I was posing him for the thumbnail that they would snap, but so far so good. Wish I can say that with the rest of my Predators. But if you can't already tell, this won't shut all the way. And I haven't really messed with it yet. I probably need to shave something down. It looks like it was molded incorrectly, so it just can't close all the way. But again, with some fiddling, with some work, I'm pretty confident I can fix that. I just haven't found the time yet. But it doesn't really bother me all too much. And you have some paint detail there, some red marks all around, and it's all scuffed up. Got a little silver there. Pretty sweet. The hand is really nice. Obviously it has that kind of glove design. The lime paint again on the inner hand. Got another scratch right there. But it's looking pretty good. Got those brass knuckles, which are also like a copper bronzish thing. And his undies. They're undies. Nothing much you can say. He does have the extra piece added here, the belt, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely like that. Wraps around the entire figure. And I don't think you can even, yeah, you can't really move it, which is fine. I mean, wouldn't have much of a reason to, I'd imagine. Oh yeah, and the bones here, they're a nice gray. So that's nice. And again, Jungle Hunter bones. Nothing too different. He does, however, come with the added smart disc holder, which, thank you, NECA, it actually holds the smart disc. if you guys haven't watched any of my other reviews or followed the channel for a while now, but this has always pissed me off with other Predators. They just do not want to stay in, and what NECA did here really is made these the edges taller so that they can just groove in. So thank you. It will actually work. Goddamn. And I'll show that later. But some nice detail there as well. Definitely loving it. And the legs here, you got the fishnets and got the shin guards here. Very nice. All scuffed up. They look worn, which is nice. Pretty cool. And he's got their little skirt. We all love skirts. And the feet, which have two shades of green. Got the forest green and the lime green. Got the nails right here, which are, I think those are also green, now that I look at it. It's funny. And he does have peg holes, but luckily, he stands just fine. I really don't have any issues. And again, not again, because I didn't show it off, but he does have the Jungle Hunter blades, wrist blades. And they're not bent or anything. So I was very, very lucky that the vendor had two of them. One of them was a little bit messed up, had some serious paint issues and warped legs or whatever he had, and this one seemed to be better. So I am very, very happy that he doesn't suck. So NECA, thank you for not sucking. And see, again, with that QC issue, it just keeps dropping down. That's really annoying. I was about to film the articulation segment, and I just noticed that. Ugh. But since we're here, let's get into articulation. Now, typically for articulation, I tend to take off the plasma caster to show you the full mobility. And I know people might get tired of these articulation segments because a lot of the Predators have similar bodies, but I like to cater to new viewers, and I've had a lot of new subscribers since I did my last couple of reviews, so that's that. Okay, let's get into the articulation. Alrighty, so the head can move down that much, pretty far, can move up that much. It's almost actually coming out of the ball peg right there, but it's not too bad. So there's that, and it can move side to side, and it technically can do a full 360, but I don't really like to do that. I don't like to warp the dreadlocks already more than they are, so, but take my word on it, it's fine. The right shoulder here can go out that much. The little shoulder piece right here does restrict it, can go in that much, and it can move the full 360. Has the upper bicep cut and a double jointed elbow, which is always appreciated. As I've shown earlier, the wrist blades can extend. He does have an upper wrist rotation, and like most Predators, you can fully rotate these, although I really don't recommend it because you might break the wrist blades and they can go out and in. So they do their job just fine. Now, if you're familiar with Jungle Hunter, the other arm here can not really move that much, but this armor piece is pliable enough for you to do something. Just again, be careful, these might break. And it can go that far out. And again, be careful. I don't like messing with that. And everything else is the same with this arm, including the wrist gauntlet right here. You can open and close. Again, mine's a little messed up. Now, with the, these recent molds, obviously he does have two cuts here at the abs. One is at the top that can move pretty far down. And now the sheath here does restrict it. But he can get a lot of motion. It's really hard right now. You gotta just mess around with it, but take my word on it, he moves a lot. So there you go. Okay, the legs here can go forward that much, go forward that much, and again, a lot of this is pliable material, so you can probably do a really good job. Now he can do the splits, but obviously this will prohibit that. So there you go. He does have the thigh cut and of course a double jointed knee, and the feet can move forward this much, back that much, side to side, and basically a giant angle pivot. So he has lots and lots of articulation, and honestly, NECA, these molds really don't get old, so keep using it. This is the perfect mold. You do not need to improve anything except your QC, because that's garbage. Now, as for scale, he's fine, really nothing too different, but if you want to get technical, I did bring this. So he's about just a little bit over 8 inches tall, and I do have some fellers to compare him with, and obviously I'm bringing in the 2.0 version of Elder Predator, and actually he might be a little bit taller, though it might be because mine's in an awkward position. I also have 1.0 over here, who I think is even shorter than him. But hey, you know, technically, old people do get shorter as they age, right? And his plasma caster fell off, so that's kind of annoying, but there you go. So, 2 grandpas and one youngster, but I also would like to bring in the Ahab Predator, because he's the most recent, before this guy, the most recent Ultimate figure, if I am not mistaken. Though the Bad Blood and Enforcer 2-pack were technically Ultimates, but you catch my drift. And just for, I just knocked the camera, just for more reference, here he is just next to a human character. And I got Ripley here, and man, I really should put more human characters next to Predators. It really shows their scale, because they're like 8 feet tall. Anywho, let us check out the accessories now. But before we move on, for all you Sunspot Reviews old schoolers out there, and here he is next to my alpaca. Alrighty, so he does come with a lot of accessories. He should, because he's Ultimate. Let us start with probably the most important, which is the flintlock pistol here, which I think has some really nice detail for as small as it is. You do have a nice gold grip right there, or handle, and the I don't know parts of a gun, whatever this is, it's also gold. For all you gun gurus out there, let me know. But yeah, it's a nice little accessory. I mean, he should come with it. That's definitely a highlight of that book, and they did carve a hole here from where the bullet will come out, and that's really nice. But if you want even more detail, here is the other one. Really don't feel like taking it out, and they're essentially the same, just a different color. So if you are curious, or if you were curious, there you go. I try to cover all ends. He does come with 2 smart discs. He comes with a standard one, which, you know, nothing too crazy going on here, just a standard smart disc mold, only gold or copper or bronze. I don't know, I'm not good with colors, but yeah, got a little bit of shading in there, nothing too crazy. Though I will complain that he does not come with the proper hand to hold the smart discs, which really gets on my nerves. I don't know why NECA includes smart discs if the Predator doesn't even come with the proper hand. Yes, you can fit this into the open palm hand, which I'll show later, but it just doesn't look right. So I don't know what's going on over there, NECA, but fix it. The other smart disc is one that's active, so to speak, which looks really cool. We got this for the first time with the, I think it was Bad Blood, the Bad Blood Enforcer 2-pack. So that's nice, but that one had a little bit of electricity blue action going on. This one is just standard. So it looks pretty cool. I'm definitely glad they included it, and I hope they include it with more Predators. I think it's really cool. Okay, and also he does come with hands to hold the flintlock pistol and another open palm, but I'll get into holding the accessories in a little bit. He does come with a sword, and you do have to attach the blade separately, but let's take a close look at that. Nice bronze color here for the handle, got a little bit of black there, and a nice gunmetal and a hint of silver here on the actual sword, the blade. I think it looks very nice, nice shading. And all you do, be fragile, be cautious, because this is fragile, and really you just gotta work it in there, but it fits nicely, and it's a really, really nice sword, and I am definitely going to display him with it. But again, I'll show you that in a second. And the head sculpts. But before I get into those, let's actually mess around with all of these accessories and see how he looks fully equipped. So as far as the hands go, this open palm one obviously is meant for this one here, but I wasn't even going to show it, but I love y'all, so that's what I'm gonna do. By the way, just a tip, if in case you're just getting into the line, I recommend pushing the hand into the body like so when you're taking it out or putting it in, so you don't mess around with the wrist blades too much. But there you go, and I definitely like using this one for messing around with the other wrist gauntlet here, but it looks nice. But anywho, as far as the other hand goes that holds the sword and the flintlock, let us take this out here and go ahead and put this in. Now, yeah, it kind of does two jobs. Like I said, you can get him to hold the flintlock pistol here in any way. You technically, the fingers are pliable. You technically can put the finger in the trigger hole there, but I don't really like to do that. I think it looks kind of cool like this, but you can if you want. Anywho, let us put in the sword now. Again, the fingers are pliable, but be gentle. You know, these are fragile figures at the end of the day, and man, that looks so freaking cool. Let us back up here for a moment and check that out. I think that looks super badass. That is a really big sword. I love it. So, I am so displaying him with it. It looks absolutely badass. But man, I really hope he doesn't fall, because again, that blade is really, really fragile and it can break off easily. I might end up building a stand for him just in case, even though, like I said, he's pretty good. He's pretty good about standing, but you never know. In case there's a small earthquake or something, I don't want these guys flying around the room. By the way, let us now put this in the sheath. So just remove the blade. We're going to turn it around here, and there are actually two ports. If the dreadlocks don't want to get in the way, there's two ports. Not rocket science. Just place them in. Now, could be a little bit tricky, but you can do it. And there you go. So, pretty cool. I definitely like it. And, man, if you have him pose like this, God forbid he falls over. Oh, that is not going to be good. That is really not going to be good. Alright, so the smart discs, right? This is really the hand that you would use for the smart disc. I mean, technically, yeah, you can hold it like this if you so choose it. You got to mess with it a little bit, but, you know, really you'd want him holding it in the finger holes here, right? Doesn't really work too well. As you can see, they don't line up the best. The thumb doesn't really want to line up, and you got to bend the fingers around, and honestly, I don't even want to do it to mess around with these. Again, NECA, man, you have Predators that come with hands specially for holding these. I'd really appreciate if you would add it, and this one actually might fit a little easier, but again, you would have to bend a lot of the fingers to do so, which I really don't want to do. Yeah, I don't even want to mess around with it and warp the fingers, because I've had that happen to me. But again, NECA, please do that, because these are basically useless. However, at the beginning of the video, I did say they did do one thing right, and watch this. I'm making history. I'm making NECA Predator history. Oh, it actually fits, and it's not going anywhere. NECA, thank you for that. So you gave us a good holster for it. Good job. But now we can't even get him to hold it properly. So we're back to square one. Alright, I'm going to stop sounding ungrateful for a minute, and let's check out the highlights of the accessories, which are these bad boys. So before I put the other biomask on, I do want to show you the up-close details. It looks so nice. I absolutely love the shading that they use for the helmet, and it's cool because it's kind of a darker bronze than the armor, so it gives a little bit of contrast. And these are kind of pokey. They're kind of sharp, so don't mess around with this. You'll get hurt. I'm not even kidding. I've cut myself plenty of times on other figures from this line, so careful. And there are the eyes there. Got some black shading right over there, a little bit of silver. it's really nice. And I'm glad that they're giving us extra head sculpts so we don't have to put the masks on. Sometimes they tend to fall out, but now they're doing it this way, which I think I prefer. At first I was kind of about it, because what if I want the Predator to hold the mask, but honestly this is probably our best bet. It looks really nice. So, good job NECA. So I did take off the head, and obviously it's just a peg and a port. And you gotta work with it. You know what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take the swords out, because I really don't feel like breaking this figure today. And just kind of twist it on. It goes on pretty easily. There you go. So it actually went on easier than I thought. So he looks very, very cool. I absolutely love this biomask. I think I like it even more than the other one. I'm still debating, how do I want to display this figure? With this one or with this one? And I love this one so much. It just might be the winner. Check out all that detail. I love it. You do have the little piercing right here on the mandible, and you got some little thorns right there, which are surprisingly sharp. Inside the mouth, it is beautifully detailed. Love the teeth, love the gums. The eyes are white with little black pupils, which make him look pretty threatening, and I do love the shading, or the glossy black paint that they put around the eyes and those sockets. And just overall, the skin detail is amazing. I might be gushing over this considering I have had sculpts just like this, but I'm way too obsessed with these franchises, so I'm going to talk about it. Look at all that detail. It is so beautiful. Got some little red dots, some black ones. Got a nice pattern right here, like a U shape. And it just looks so nice. They put a lot of work into this, and it's not all just paint. They sculpted all these scales, so to speak. And it's very, very lovely. And there is some paint, you know, rubbed right there, but I don't really care because it's inside the head. Could care less. And you know what I've been thinking about? I really don't want to buy those NECA stands because their figures should stand on their own, but those head stands to display the accessories, I might just buy into that. I might just, because again, I'm having trouble deciding which one I want to put on display. I kind of want to have all of them, and that's kind of where I'm at. But anyway, let's show you how he looks with, there we go, this unmasked head. And it's no different. This one might be a little tricky because of the mandible, so just be careful. But it should go on eventually. There we go. Cool. And there he is, looking quite pretty. Let's zoom in on that. Ah, I think this is the winner, people. Ooh, his little piercing. Oh man, this figure is a winner. It is a winner if I've ever seen it. I love it. Alright, did I go over all the accessories? The smart disc, yes. The sword, the helmets, the hands, the flintlock pistol. Alright. Looks like we are coming to an end, people. I'm going to put this guy in a quick pose, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this figure. Okay, so this is basically the best I can do in just a couple minutes, but my final thoughts. Do I recommend this figure? Yes. But, and I'm going to say this in every single Predator Alien review by NECA that I do, and I don't care how repetitive it sounds, I am lucky. This guy had hardly any, oh, his earring, not earring, piercing, it's a bit off. I was lucky because this guy had hardly any QC issues. Just two. The loose plasma caster and the wrist gauntlet was not closing properly, both of which I can technically fix. However, I'm not going to endorse NECA. I'm not going to say that yours is going to be perfect. Please be wary. Look inside the box. Look out for these two wires here. Look out for the wrist gauntlets. And look at the mandibles too, because those like to break off. And really examine the figure. Really do that. I know it sounds nerdy to do that in the store, but listen, that's what you got to do. Just the way it is. Anywho, I really like this figure. I think it's really cool, very pretty, and I don't have a green Predator. Like I said, you gotta have every color of the rainbow. Y'all know me. So, if you see this guy in the store, I definitely recommend it. He's a lot of fun. Just remember to look at him closely so you don't get ripped off. And currently, like I said, I have not found this at my local Target, but considering he was just released, though he might already be in stores, I have seen pictures of people picking this up at their local Targets all over the USA. I'm here in Southern California, and I have a lot of Targets near me. Not one of them had this, and I go there pretty consistently because it's always on my way home from work. There's a bunch of them on my way home from work, so a couple days a week I hit up Target for like a minute, just in and out, and I head home. And like I said, I haven't found these, but if you do, definitely pick it up. And hey, if you also found those new aliens, the arcade wave or the Kenner one, definitely let me know. I would love to know what you guys have been picking up. Hell, if you even want to send me pictures or tell me about it, definitely add me on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, wherever. I will reply to you, and I do reply to all comments. As I've said, commenting is way more important than subscribing. So let me know what you think of this figure. If you like the review, are you happy that the alpaca is back? Because I know I still got the sunspotreviewz subscribers out there. And yeah, I think this will wrap up the video. Please go check out the Sanctuary on Facebook, a lovely group of collectors, and check out all of their channels, all of which are linked down below in the description provided. We have a top 10 for this week, which is the top 10 comic book character outfits. You are welcome to write in any options that you want, so please go check that out, vote, and we'll be going over the results this Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on our toy show. So go check us out. We're nerds, and we love what we do. And as always, people, have a good morning, evening, midday, whatever, and take care.